Ah, Sakura. You found my hiding spot. Not many students venture into the consumer law section these days.
Professor, I have been looking everywhere. I need your help understanding something. I tried to cancel a skincare subscription online yesterday, and it was a nightmare.
Let me guess. Endless clicks, hidden buttons, and suddenly you're committed to 3 more months?
Exactly. How did you know?
Because you have stumbled into one of Japan's most pressing consumer issues right now. The data is quite alarming, actually. In October 2025 alone, Tokyo's Consumer Affairs Office received over 2,300 complaints. And the number one keyword? Cancellation. 630 cases to be precise.
600 in just 1 month? For one city?
Indeed. And that is merely the tip of the iceberg. Most people do not even bother complaining.
They just give up?
Precisely. There is actually a term for this: silent customers. Research shows that when people encounter trouble while shopping online, over 60% simply stop using the service without ever contacting support.
That is me, honestly. Last year, I just abandoned a streaming service because I could not figure out how to cancel.
And that is exactly what some companies count on.
Wait, you are saying they make it confusing on purpose?
There is a name for these tactics: dark patterns. Clever website designs that nudge consumers toward choices they never intended to make. And here is the troubling part. A government survey found dark patterns on roughly 70% of major Japanese e-commerce sites.
70%? That is almost everyone.
The estimated annual loss to Japanese consumers? Over 1 trillion yen. That works out to about 33,000 yen per person. Roughly $300.
Professor, that is insane. What kind of tricks are we talking about?
The most common one is hidden information, burying important details in tiny text or multiple clicks away. Then there is making the cancellation option nearly invisible. Some sites require you to call during specific hours, navigate through 10 different pages, or answer surveys before you can finally click that cancel button.
Oh, I have seen that. The subscribe button is huge and green, but cancel is a tiny gray link at the bottom of the page.
You are learning fast. According to consumer advocacy groups, the average financial damage from dark patterns is about 11,000 yen, around $100. For subscription-related cases specifically, it is even higher.
So who is getting hurt the most by all this?
That is where it gets particularly concerning. With over-the-counter medicine sold online, complaints about subscription traps increased 6-fold between 2021 and 2024, and 80% of those complaints came from people in their 60s and older.
Our grandparents' generation.
Exactly. Many clicked on what they thought was a one-time purchase, only to discover they had signed up for monthly deliveries of multiple products.
That is heartbreaking. But, Professor, is there not any law against this?
Japan has the Act on Specified Commercial Transactions. It has been around for decades. But digital commerce has evolved faster than legislation. The Consumer Affairs Agency launched a major review in late 2025 to overhaul the Consumer Contract Act.
So change is coming?
Slowly, yes. They are expected to release interim findings by summer 2026. The key debates center on how to regulate digital interfaces and these manipulative design practices.
What about the companies themselves? Are any of them trying to do better?
Interestingly, yes. There is now something called NDD certification, non-dark pattern design. Companies can apply to be recognized for ethical interface practices.
Like a badge of honor for not tricking your customers?
Put simply, yes. It is a signal to consumers that a company plays fair. For businesses entering Japan, this actually represents an opportunity.
How so?
Japanese consumers are becoming increasingly aware of these issues. A company that demonstrates transparent, easy cancellation processes could differentiate itself significantly. Trust is currency here.
So being ethical is actually good business strategy?
In the long run, absolutely. Those silent customers I mentioned, they are not just leaving one service. They are telling friends, posting reviews, building negative sentiment. The short-term gains from tricky cancellation processes often create long-term brand damage.
Professor, if someone from overseas wanted to do business in Japan, what should they know about all this?
First, understand that Japanese consumers have high expectations for service clarity. What might be acceptable friction in other markets can be perceived as deceptive here. Second, the regulatory environment is tightening. Building compliant systems now saves costly retrofitting later.
And for consumers, any advice?
Always screenshot your final order confirmation screen. Check cancellation terms before subscribing. And if something seems too good to be true, like free services with hidden ongoing charges, it usually is.
I am definitely screenshotting everything from now on.
A wise habit. You know, Sakura, this dusty corner of the library holds more relevant lessons than most students realize. Consumer protection law is not glamorous, but it shapes how millions of daily transactions unfold.
I came here frustrated about a skincare subscription. I am leaving with a business insight. Thank you, Professor.
That is the best kind of education, the kind that starts with a personal problem. Now, shall we get some coffee? I believe the campus cafe has a very straightforward loyalty program. No dark patterns in sight.
Lead the way, Professor.
You've been listening to Narrative Japan. Until next time, stay curious and keep listening for the whispers beneath Japan's economy.